tonight we're making something fresher than what I was gonna make camping this weekend. It's kind of like a obligatory follow-up to that because man, I felt like trash this morning. I got some red bell peppers. I'm going to dice up some zucchini, some onion. We're gonna make kind of like a taco lettuce wrap. It's usually pretty good, one of our favorites. Kind of just like to chunk the zucchini up a little bit like this and then give it like a good dicing. Sometimes I'll take some of the skin off, but I think we need as much nutrients as we can get after our camping trip. So I usually just kind of cut it like you would an onion in one direction and the other direction in a good dice. So that way it has a chance to get like really tender. I have my red bell pepper already cut, and then you see that's like all perfectly diced. Good cut right there. And then we'll throw in some onion, and then actually tonight I have some enoki mushroom that I'm going to toss in there. Never had enoki mushroom. They're very thin, very small if you're not a big mushroom fan. It's kind of a good introduction to it to get that in there. And then I have some just store-bought pico de gallo that I'm going to throw in with a little bit of natural fresh farms chicken from Foster Farms. Not that fresh. I could have done better, but you know what? It's better than we had this weekend. We had a whole bunch of tri-tip and red meats, and got a little heavy this morning. It didn't feel so good, so I figured tonight let's go a little healthy. We're gonna do some rice and beans with it. Keep it kind of Mexican, but also a little fresh. These guys, you need to throw them in a soup, or you can just literally just cut the caps off, which is like what I like to do for these things. Just kind of give it a good small dice, and you can use any of it, and it kind of comes off just like a little texture. You can actually use them almost as noodles too. That's the first step right there, just kind of chunking everything up. I'm going to saute it up. I'll show you that in a second. Making some rice and beans, and we're going to have some lettuce wraps. So yeah, thanks for hanging out with me, adventurers. We'll see you soon. We'll give you a little update, and I'm going to post the other videos. Another thing I suggest when making this kind of stuff is to season every part of it. So I'm adding a little bit of paprika. I'm going to throw some garlic powder in there. Some, obviously, pepper. A little bit of cumin, which is like a staple. And definitely need some salt, which I can't find at the moment. My salt disappeared. It's hiding from me. So instead I'm going to add something a little salty. It'll help add to it, but not overly power it. It's called the black garlic seasoning from McCormick. It's a powder seasoning, really good. Not quite sure my salt went. So you're hiding somewhere. Might have taken a camping and forgot it. Then you want to stir all that in, get a nice little roux going. Then you deglaze before adding the meat. The meat doesn't burn. And then you get a nice little crunch, and then you deglaze again. This does rendering down. You want to make it till everything's kind of like a little translucent. And then once it's translucent, then I'll add my meat. A little bit more seasoning. Definitely get some salt. You gotta find it first. Over here I got some restaurant style refried beans going. I'm just trying to make everything equal parts, cook evenly. That way everything finishes at the same time. And then I usually just go back and forth between the beans and the veggies, because then it gives the beans some seasoning, and then the veggies some beans, so it kind of helps out each other. In a second I'm going to throw in the meat. I'll show you what that looks like in a moment. Alright, just added my enoki mushrooms, add a little bit more cumin, that was a good amount actually, a little bit more garlic, definitely paprika, big containers, definitely some paprika, and then a little bit of chili powder, not too much because Jet has to eat this, so if I add too much it's going to get too spicy. So right now all the vegetables on the bottom are getting a little glazed, stirring up, and I'm about to toss this all together We got the chicken in there. Bottoms of it's kind of getting a little white. I was gonna use turkey, but chicken was on sale, so it's not too bad. It's a little drier, I think, than the ground turkey, but if you cook it right with a bunch of vegetables, it'll be good. And we got the beans coming, we got some rice coming. Just want to get the meat done first so it has plenty of time to cook, and then I'll cook it slowly at the end. I like to use a cast iron skillet, likes to add a little bit more flavor to it. And then I'll taste once it gets to the end, and if I have to do a final seasoning, I will. But right now, we just have a little turkey going on there, a little olive oil. Oop, losing pieces. Throw it back in, hands are washed, just wash them after tossing the chicken in. If I have to cover it, I will, to keep it moist and let it steam itself. Seems like it might need some herbs in there to help it out. And then I can add the pico de gallo if I want to. I'm going to add some oregano. It's a standard for Hispanic food, plus it helps. One of my favorites, actually. Get some of that in there. Not too much rosemary. The dried rosemary is a little rough. Throw some basil in there. Can't have enough basil. Love basil. And then maybe some parsley. I like to liven it up with some greenery. And then we'll toss that together. And then we'll taste it once it's fully cooked, so I don't get sick. Probably cooking like ground chicken and stuff you can't taste along the way. But I think it's going to be pretty good with all the veggies in there. Everything else, I'm going to kind of lower it down. I'm actually going to add a little beer to it to help deglaze it and let it steam. Let the beer cook down a little bit in the cast iron. We'll render that down until it's low, and then we'll add a little bit more seasoning. That will help to keep it moist. I add like a little kind of a broth to it right now while it's going. Alright, well, I'll show you guys the final product. Adventures, last story of the evening. Before I taste it, we got all the sauce out here. Chips, the meat's right there. Got some rice and beans, just waiting for Jess quesadilla. The rest of the Mexican style, the restaurant style bean, and a few different sauces and stuff to try out on the lettuce wraps. Alright folks, everything's done. We have the lettuce wraps. This one comes with avocado sauce I saw yesterday. Actually looks really good. It's like some cilantro, some jalapeno in it. Try it out. Not bad. Nice creamy flavor to it. Very cilantro forward. I wouldn't say that it's like super spicy or too avocado-y. It kind of just tastes like a Verde sauce. This one has one that I really like, the truff. This was the avocado before. Look at that right there. The truffle sauce. It's always a clutch. It's a little spicy, a little heat. So I threw some sour cream on it. I'm gonna try it out. So I'm just taking it all in one bite. Might be a little heat. I nailed the meat. Not too salty or salty. Not too saucy. Not too great. Pretty tender, juicy for chicken. We'll see how I feel at the end of the meal. Thank you for joining me right now. We'll see how everything tastes. Alright, so overall verdict, pretty good. Haven't made lettuce wraps in a while. Usually use turkey, chicken, a little drier, but not salty, but good flavor to it. With the cumin and the paprika and everything. It's probably gonna be the last one. A little hot sauce on it. Damn, I'm full. I'll see you guys next time.